What's good, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we always start this show by being transparent, and there were no shows over the weekend. Didn't end up doing a Friday show, so I guess a lot has happened since the last time we've talked. NBA, I won 5 of my last 7. NFL over the weekend, it was a lot of back and forth, and I think the Chiefs game made me be slightly losing. So NBA's been good lately. NFL back and forth, maybe a little down there with the Chiefs game. How's everything been for you, Vino? And good to be back with you.
Good to be back with you, Skee. Yesterday, actually, the first losing day I've had in football, and it was the Chiefs. I had a 5% play on the Chiefs yesterday, and it did not get home. So we're number one at Wager Talk in the NFL. Not sure that holds after yesterday. Don't want to look. College basketball been good. 2-1 over the weekend. Houston first half didn't play at Skee, but it pushed yesterday against Auburn, -4, win by
Depending what
4 in the
number you
first
got,
half. Yeah, you could have got 4.5 and lost, right? In that one.
I did.
Yeah, 4
They
was
don't put those
out
numbers out
there.
on the West Coast so early.
Uh,
They're scared to put them out. They want to wait and see which way the line moves.
yeah, we can't have that. So yeah, we're looking to get back at it today with it. It's a pretty big NBA slate, I have to say, for a Monday. So we got a little bit to talk about.
All right, let's get to it. Big, decent slate. Going rotation order like we always do. Clippers and Sixers opened up 4.5 point favorites for the Clippers. Looks like 5.5. Total went from 219.5 as high as 221. When I look at the injury report, Bogdanovich is now questionable for the Clippers. Um, no Kawhi, obviously. Derek Jones is out. Miller out. For the Sixers, no Oubre, Embiid, or Bona. And then Paul George is probable. Looks like he's going to be making his debut here tonight. Um, for the Sixers, they are the more rested team. I think they've had 2 days off before this game. Clippers, it is a back to back for them. Third and four, fourth and six, all that good stuff. And Clippers haven't been looking good in general, Rob. I joke around. I don't know if it's Ty Lue having gambling debt or it's just these old guys with the tennis balls with the walkers. I don't know what it is, but the Clippers have not looked good so far this year. For the Sixers, they've been really good, especially in the first 24 minutes. I feel like those third quarters, they're struggling. So my first thought here, even though they have rest advantage, would be Sixers early. And I'm curious how you see this game.
Well, I'll go from from the Sixers standpoint. They had a little team discussion after the loss to Detroit the other night. Detroit didn't have Cade. Detroit didn't have Jalen Duren. Detroit basically threw the B team at them, and Philly couldn't hang on. And Tyrese Maxey and BJ Edgecombe probably the two most vocal. Not that it got into any kind of a screaming match or anything, but the two guys who really are focused on 48 minutes. For the Sixers, it's been that way all season long, Skee. Either they fall behind early and come back late, or they get ahead early and fade late. In that game against Detroit, it was a fade late. They lost the fourth quarter by 11. So they're looking to put everything together here. I don't put it past them to do so against a Clippers team on back-to-backs, like you mentioned, short bodies to begin with. The Kelly Oubre loss, I think, is somewhat of a deal here. We'll see what Paul George can even bring to the table in his first game of the season. But to me, I think, just watching the Sixers all season long, I've said it before, their legs never really look tired. I think what happens to them, and according to Maxey and Edgecombe, is they just lose focus more than get fatigued. So if they maintain focus tonight, should be a Philadelphia game. I could be apt to play their team total over just because I don't think that the Clippers can keep up for 48 minutes. The Clippers did give up a bunch yesterday, especially from 3-point range to the Celtics. So I'm going to look at the Sixers in some capacity. Haven't played it yet, but they've been bet up to 5.5, like you say, and totals now sitting 220.5.
I like Maxi rebounds in that one. Numbers too low, in my opinion. 3.5. He's been clearing that every game. damn near, especially since Embiid has been out. So I do like that in that game. Next, we have Pacers and Pistons, and opened up 8.5 all the way up to 11. Total open 228.5. That's gone up too. I'm seeing as high as 231.5. Um, these Pacers, they look, they just season looks like over. Rob Veno. That's what it looks like for this Pacers team. For the Pistons, they're sitting at 11-2. They've had a couple of days off before this game. It is the first of a back-to-back. But man, I mean, you mentioned it. The Pistons. I mean, it hasn't even mattered who's been playing. They've still been able to get the job done. Tonight we do have Cade still questionable, Sar Thompson questionable, no Tobias, no Ivy, no Sasser, no Clintman. Duran is probable. For the Pacers, though, a lot of guys too. Matherin's questionable. No Furphy, Jackson, Jones, Neesmith, or Toppin. Just missing a whole lot for this Pacers team, and it seems like it's been too much to overcome. Um, I would like to think, they play more up tempo with Nembhard and TJ, but the offense is just so bad. I don't think it's translating to points. Detroit's been playing good defense. I mean, this one is Detroit or pass for me. I even considered a Pacers team total under. How are you viewing Pacers at Pistons?
Well, I think you have to like Detroit in this game, Skee. For the Pacers, it's 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, right? You get your point guards back, Nembhard and McConnell just recently, and now no Obi Toppin, no Aaron Neesmith. And I think the Aaron Neesmith thing is extended. Yeah, so maybe a month or over a month on that injury to him. So those are two guys that are offensive igniters, um, mostly off the bench that help this team score. Without them, you're depth shy for sure where scoring is concerned. No Johnny Furphy, a little extra. He hasn't played in 6 games. It's hard for Indiana to overcome all of this. And back to the point about the Sixers after their game against Detroit, they made mention of how physical Detroit is and how physical Detroit tries to be with their opponents. And I really don't know that Indiana matches up from a physical standpoint against this team, especially if Jalen Duren's back in the lineup underneath us. Indiana's kind of a finesse team, and Detroit seems to be one that's on a mission. When you start winning games like they did in the fourth quarter with your backups predominantly, that's a pretty good indication here. So I would probably play Detroit. I could see your point about Indiana team total under. Game has pushed a little bit toward the over as far as full game total is concerned, but I don't think I have a lot of fear of laying points here with Detroit. Indiana's shown the ability to be blown out this year. So if Cade is back, especially, you got to play Detroit.
All right, we'll keep going down the list here. Bucks and Cavaliers open 7.5. Still looks like 7 or 7.5. Total went down from 238.5 as low as 234.5. Garland, Struce, and Tyson are out. Giannis is probable. No Porter or Prince. For the Bucks, like they have been playing a lot of games lately. Actually, both teams playing a lot of games lately. Third and fourth for the Bucks, fourth and sixth for both teams. The Bucks did lose to these Cavaliers already this season, so it could be a chance for some revenge. Also coming off a loss, a spanking, I think it was, versus the Lakers. So this is one where I faded the Cavaliers over the weekend with the Grizzlies. And the main thing was the Cavaliers haven't been playing good enough defense to be laying so many points. So I do think the Bucks will be able to score. It's just I don't really trust the Bucks defense at the same time. So I don't, and at the same time as that, I mean, no Garland, no Strus. That is some offense missing. It's tough. I want to say maybe an over, but don't feel too strong about this one. Anything appealing for you?
Yeah, real quick. I think the last time we talked, it was Cleveland, Toronto that night, right? And Toronto been playing pretty good defense, and Donovan Mitchell was on his own at point guard because Lonzo didn't play that game. But Lonzo did come back and play in the Memphis game, and they still didn't cover. It just seems like they definitely get too offensively focused. The Cavaliers, both teams do, which really makes it surprising that this number would come down from 238.5 to 234.5. Money must have thought that it was just too high to begin with, but it's hard to feel that way with these two teams. To your point about the earlier meeting, Cavs win 118-113, little Bucks revenge and Bucks off a loss. I'd kind of lean that way towards Milwaukee here. Not to steal your phrase, but again, we're talking about bad defense. If you can't get stops, can you win by 8? Not sure that can happen here. Barely won by 8 against Memphis the other day. So for me, it'd probably be Milwaukee as the dog here, plus 7.5 or nothing. But I am a little bit surprised that the total has come down as far as it has.
All right. Getting some injury news here on one of these later games, so I'll keep that in mind. And we can keep going down the list here, Rob Veno. Knicks and Heat opened up -1 for Miami, seeing 1.5 for 2. The total goes up from 241.5 to 244.5, regardless of Brunson being out and OG being out for this Knicks team. On the other side, no Bam, no Hero, and of course, no Terry Rozier. um, when I think about the Knicks minus Brunson, I like to think the offense struggles some. Now, without OG, you are losing a defender for those Knicks over there as well. So, I don't know. Bam, I like to think you're losing some defense and rebounding. This is a tough game. I think I would trust the Heat being a little bit more healthy. I mean, the Knicks -2 starters. I know they have some other guys, they picked up this year. They're a little bit more of a deeper team, but that's just going to affect the bench. And when you're playing a Heat team that just wants to run, you don't really want to be short guys. So I look towards the Heat in this one. I can also understand why, because of the pace, why the total continues to go up. How are you viewing this one, Vino?
Well, can I break out for the first time this year? I'm going to break out potential points for you, Skee. How about that game that these two teams played Friday night up in New York? 272 points, no Brunson, no OG, no Bam. None of the guys that are out tonight played in that one. They took 199 shots from the field, 199 field goal attempts. Inside of that, 102 of those were 2-pointers. That's 204 possible points. 97 threes, 44 by Miami, 53 by the Knicks. That's a possible 291 points, 63 free throws. All told, that's 558 points that could have been scored in that game. That's crazy. They did manage to score quite a bunch. Just under 49% of those went through the hoop. So we got what we got there, a 272-point game. I can understand why people bet this thing up from 241.5 to 244.5, because other than the venue, what's really going to change? You're probably going to get the same pace. You may not get 199 shots, but you probably get 190. And the Knicks were just jacking threes like crazy. What I don't think will happen here, Skee, is I don't think you get 36 points out of Landry Shamet tonight, which is what they got Friday. And he played a really big role. Cat had 39. You get a lot from the bench. Clarkson had 24. But I don't know if those bench numbers are repeatable here in this game. So to me, I like Miami a little bit. The Knicks showed that they'll play to Miami style Friday night. Don't know why they wouldn't play to Miami style here tonight. So for me, it'd probably be Miami. I think the price is in a pretty good spot. You can still get 1.5s out there too. Some markets are slow to move on this game. We see a few 2s and 2.5s, but a lot of 1.5s out there still. So I'd probably lay it with Miami.
What Casey's saying here, Mitch got 10 rebounds in like 16 minutes and still fouled out. I think, you have guys calling out Khalil Ware, and just saying he needs to do a better job of, not letting Mitchell Robinson dominate the game. I think he had 8 offensive rebounds in that game. I was thinking maybe bet Mitchell Robinson rebounds under. Like, that's going to be an emphasis for this team, not to let him kill them on the boards tonight. Could look at it another way and say maybe Khalil Ware rebounds a little bit better. He has been pretty good without Bam out there. He only had 10 last game. His number's 10.5. Considering both of those, whether it's Khalil over, whether it's Mitch Rob under, looking at both of those props. Jose Perez, looking at Miami here. Mark likes Miami money line, also taking maxi rebounds and assists. Good stuff on that. All right, next game up. Hornets and Raptors. Opened up Raps minus 7.5. Looks like 8.5. Total went up from 238.5 as high as 240.5. Injury report. For Charlotte, Josh Green, McNeely, Miller, and Williams are out. For Toronto, Abaji is doubtful. Battle is questionable. I have to go back to what I was saying, I mean, Raptors played some defense in that game. Remember, I was saying maybe it's who
Yep.
they had played, or I mean, they played defense against the Cavs in that game, looked damn good. Um, Now you get a Hornets team that has been struggling to score, but a lot of those games has been without LaMelo. Um, LaMelo obviously is going to increase the pace and help the offense for them. Um, Man, I think the Hornets hit this one of their last 5 or 6 games as far as their team total tonight. Raptors have only given it up, I believe, one of their last 7 or something like that. Really considering Hornets team total under here, just wanting to continue to trust the Raptors defense. Obviously, LaMelo is going to change how the Hornets have been looking lately. Anyway, any reason, to talk me off of Hornets team total under here?
I don't think so, Skee. I'm just first. I'll give you a quote, and then I want to get to something else here. This is the Raptors head coach, Darko Rajakovic. He says, "I'm really satisfied with winning 4 out of 5 on this road trip. I think we played some really, really good basketball, and it's still part of the process. I still believe there are areas for us to continue improving and get better." So, coach likes what he sees, thinks they're going to get even better. And we've noticed, obviously, the defensive side of the floor where they've been really, really good. Um, One thing, real quick here on scheduling. If I'm right, this would be the Raptors' first game back off of that 5 game road trip.
It is.
Um, Generally, we don't like to play aside the home side in that particular situation. Doesn't mean they won't bring the defense, just makes it a little leery of playing the Raptors, makes me a little leery of playing the Raptors here. Some of those games that you mentioned where Charlotte hadn't scored, not only no LaMelo Ball, but no Colin Sexton for maybe 1 or 2 of those as well. He had been hurt a little bit. So I don't know. With Charlotte, they're always going to push pace when LaMelo's in the game. That's what scares me off of anything involving under. But the defensive prowess of Toronto so far has been really good. So can't talk you off it. I don't think I'll be on it. Probably let this one go. I would like if it wasn't the first game back after a 5 game road trip, I probably would have found some way to play Toronto.
I like that Hornets team total under. That's calling my name right there. Think that pretty sure I'll play that. Next will be Oklahoma City and New Orleans. Not gonna, 17.5 we're looking at. Zion is questionable. Total came down from 226 to 224. Murray, no pull. Then for OKC, Caruso's questionable. Topic, Wiggins, Kenrick Williams, J Dub also out. Man, Vino, OKC can win by 40 and 30 until I bet on them. I went 2-1 that day, but I bet OKC all of a sudden, they don't do anything or they let the other team do whatever to come cover the number. Um, it's hard to. I'm not betting against OKC right now. I'm not, especially with this lackluster Pelicans team. Could be missing Zion, etc. So it's simple Thunder or nothing for me, and I think I will be out the way. Anything for you here?
Yeah, they just beat them by 31. I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, November 2, so around the 17th, 15 days ago, beat this team by 31. And after not really winning by margin to start the season, Ski, then all of a sudden they hit the gas and started to win and cover games. So OKC's in really good form right now. New Orleans, it's hit or miss when they shoot the basketball. That's the problem with them. Always looks tempting to take some points with them, but they just don't shoot it well enough. In fact, James Borrego, head coach of New Orleans, actually said he hopes his team's shooting level matches its defensive intensity when the Pelicans play Oklahoma City tonight. So I don't like New Orleans much at all on either side of the floor, especially if you're not going to get Zion from an offensive standpoint. So it'd probably be the Oklahoma City Thunder or nothing for me. Again, I won't get involved with laying this big of a price, and I'm going to contradict myself a couple of games further down the board here, but I generally don't like to lay this type of number.
Yeah, I would not be laying this number. All right, we'll keep going down the list. And this one we did have some more guys getting rolled out. So for Minnesota, they'll be without Terrence Shannon Jr. Then for the Mavericks, no Nimhard, Lively, Irving, Gafford, Exum, Anthony Davis, all out for this Mavs team. Man, Vino, this one still went from 227.5 as high as 231.5. I mean, I guess that's a lot of rim protection you're missing from this Dallas side, but this Dallas team just struggles to score. And we know how capable the Timberwolves are on defense. It is second of a back-to-back for these Mavericks. It's the third and four for the Wolves. And if I'm not mistaken, the Mavericks did also play an overtime game. So I could very easily see them, running low on energy, running out of gas, however you want to call it. And it's very hard to look any other way than team total under for this Mavericks team. Top five defense for the Timberwolves last 5 games, bottom five offense for the Mavs. We know what they've looked like all season. This is actually interesting now that I'm looking at it here. Mavericks first half team total is 5-0 to the under, but the full game team total is 4-1 to the over for the Mavericks. So I guess they're just starting to slow out the gate and figuring it out. And maybe these numbers have begun to get a little bit too low. I think the Mavericks struggle to score here. Only way I can think about this game. How are you seeing it, Vino?
Well, the way I see everything, Ski, through that over lens, and to me, Minnesota's team total will go over. So we're probably saying the same thing. 122.5 is the T-Wolves team total. Dallas off overtime. Dallas without all three centers. How are they going to stop anybody? And Anthony Edwards could probably go to the rim all day, all night. Randall should be big at the rim here as far as scoring is concerned. The T-Wolves, for what it's worth, have been putting up some pretty solid numbers as far as points scored are concerned. And Dallas has been giving it up all season long. Dallas likes to play quick, just increases the amount of possessions here. Minnesota's not going to shy away against this team. So for me, it's going to be, and it already has been, Minnesota team total over 122.5. One of the couple things I played today, but I don't see any way Dallas holds them under 125.
Yeah, I can see that. Timberwolves offense has been solid lately. Let me just do another glance here at their numbers. Yeah, I mean, they've been putting up like 120 every game. What's their team total for tonight?
122.5.
122.5. Yeah, I mean, I could see them getting there. Mavs have been giving it up too. They've given that up in their last 3 games, it looks like right there. So I think that could be a solid way to play it there, Vino. All right. Bobby E says, easiest pick of the year by far was Hakeem's Jazz Bulls over. That was a good one yesterday. I did have an easy one yesterday. Nice to get those easy ones every now and then. Let's talk about those Bulls playing again today. Opened up with the Nuggets minus 10.5. And if you saw, we're watching the game last night, you knew this line was going to skyrocket after the first overtime. Then again, after the next overtime, you now see the Nuggets minus 14.5 out there. Total has come down. 244 was the opener, as low as 239.5. Let's take a look at injury report as of right now. Kobe White will be out. No Zach Collins is doubtful. And then you have Trey Jones, questionable. For this Nuggets team, Jokic is probable. Cam Johnson and Julian Strawther are questionable. Braun looks like he's out. This is a Nuggets team, that has been, a lot of times I say I don't like them defensively. They have been playing some pretty good defense. don't want to forget to mention this first game home off a road trip for them. Although they do have the rest advantage tonight, obviously with Bulls on a back-to-back double overtime game. But yeah, Nuggets. I'm sorry, on the season. Wow, number 3 offensive rated and number 3 defensive rated. Last 5 games, still top 5 in both categories. I mean, it's very, very hard for me, Rob, to think that the Bulls don't run out of gas here in this game. And the Bulls defense, I mean, it's also falling off a cliff. Maybe the Nuggets just name their number in this one. The only way I think the Bulls get over their team total tonight is if the Nuggets are scoring 140 and just don't care anymore. Other than that, I don't see the Bulls having enough gas in the tank. Who knows how many people will be available tonight? And in elevation, I like Bulls team total under. That's what I bet at 113. But at the same time, I see the Nuggets putting up as much as they want. So I'm thinking like that. The Nuggets should cover. Nuggets team total over. How are you feeling about this one, Vino?
Yeah, I just said about 5 minutes ago that I was going to contradict myself where big numbers are concerned, and this is where I do contradict. Don't like to lay it, but I laid it here, Ski. Not only is it back to back, but it's back to back still in altitude. You play double overtime in Utah and then go to Denver, and you got 3 starters that played over 40 minutes. Obviously, Kobe White's already out. He played 30 minutes last night, so he's out of this game. But Okoro, Vucevic, and Giddy all over 40 minutes. I don't know how you hold up for 4 quarters against Denver. Like you say, their offense has been outstanding all season long. The defensive numbers, I guess, are a little bit deceptive because it doesn't always look like they're playing really good defense, but to be ranked 3 is pretty good. And I just don't know. The Bulls, we hit on this last week, I think, once or twice, the erosion of the Bull defense after Billy Donovan. They started the year so good. He was chanting defensive physicality. It just hasn't held up. And I don't think it holds up here, honestly, with the guys they're going to put on the floor tonight. This could be one of those just, you know, lay down games. I'm not so sure. Sometimes those happen on the road with road teams that are in these trips and in these types of situations. But Denver doesn't have a lot of problem beating people by 15 when they have this kind of advantage. So I'm there. I laid 14 points with the Nuggets. I guess the only thing you worry about is maybe, late third quarter, they unload the bench. But even still, the bench will be fresher than the Bulls. So give me Nuggets minus 14.
100%. I mean, I'm with you on that. Bobby E says you guys should offer a combo package. Come on, Wager Talk, let's do it. If you reach out to customer service, I'm pretty sure they'll put something together for you. But we'll also, we'll talk to them. We'll see what we can come back with in the near future. All right. I have another stat, but I guess I'll save it for best bets. Vino, we do have a Monday night football game.
Yeah.
I don't feel the strongest about this one, but I will say it's supposed to. I mean, first of all, the opener 51 came down to 49. Side hasn't really moved too much at 3.5, but my bad for not having the name. But this is the Cowboys' first game after one of their players passed away, right? So probably a really emotional game for them. They probably played really, really hard, for him. And these emotional spots it's hard to, how do you say, quantify, I guess.
Yeah.
But I do think it will be a thing. So because of that, it's hard to play against the Cowboys here. The number looks funny. The Cowboys, I picture them putting up as many points as they want, especially versus Raiders defense. I'm just curious how well the defense will play. At the same time, we know Geno can give it right back to them. He probably will throw an interception. And I'm thinking things like that can lead to more points in this game. I think I'm in disagreement with the line coming down. Um, I'm trying to get there with some kind of over. I know the Cowboys and these teams have been opposite. Cowboys so far in the first half, 8-1 to the over. Raiders, 8-1 to the under. So which side is gonna win that battle, we shall see. But I want to think points will be scored in this game. Anything from you on Cowboys Raiders?
Yeah, I isolated it, Ski. I played Cowboys team total because they left it underneath the key number of 27. I got 26 and a half. I think 26 and a half is still available. Couple of reasons why I did. And the main one is that Dallas's pass protection, for what it's worth, has been really good this year. And the Raiders don't sack the quarterback. Max Crosby or not, their pass rush hasn't been there. They're down the bottom of the league in sacks. And if you don't get to Dak with Pickens and CD Lamb and their tight end Ferguson running around the field, it's going to be difficult. So I thought Dallas would score theirs. They did make some defensive acquisitions at the trade deadline. We'll see how much they help. And to the point of Marshawn Nealand, I think if this game was played the very next day, that their minds might not be in it, but they've had a lot of time, 8 days or so, to absorb everything that's going on, and like you say, maybe use it as a dedication game and come out fully focused. So I can see that as well. Their last offensive game wasn't really a great one out of them, but they've scored 27 or more in most of their games, last 5 or 6. So I'm there. I played over 26 and a half. Cowboys team total. I just, at this point in time, I don't trust the defense enough. We'll see how the new pieces fit in. Maybe they get better.
Okay, team total could absolutely be a good way to go there. Um, Vegas Hike Life says Raiders only allowed 6 yards per. Why is everyone hating on their defense? First half unders on their games have been money. They have. They have. We shall see. Um, I mean, because of how the Raiders have played the first half, I'm hesitant on the first half over because it's been almost automatic for the Cowboys. We know what they're going to do. They're going to score, and the defense is not going to do a whole lot of stopping anybody. So we'll see which side wins the battle in this one. All right, Vino. I think we did a good enough job. Talked about NBA, talked about Monday Night Football, and I am actually unsure what we have going. So I think this one is still going. We'll talk about these. Um, we'll talk about this one actually. Full court pass. I'm pretty sure that should still be going. You can get a 3-day all access college basketball and NBA, only $49. Both Rob Veno and myself. That'll be available for us. And then I think they have the 10 days of picks for less than $10 per day. So if you'd like to be involved, it's a good way to check us out. If you, like somebody mentioned in the chat earlier, if you are interested in, something for both Rob Veno and myself, I'm pretty sure customer service will take care of you, but we'll ask and we'll see what we can come back with. All right, Vino, best bets. I'm going to ask you if there's anything anything else you would like to promote, and then if you have a best bet for the show, we'd love to hear it. If you don't, it's all good. I got one cooking today.
All right. I think the only other special that's still live, Ski, is the longer term one, the $500 off and then 120 or some. I forget. I don't want to say it because I forget, but there is a longer term special that's still active that we've been posting. Ski's been posting here on the show. So 3 choices to choose from if you want to get involved. Let's get to tonight's basketball. Top play, I think in my mind, is going to. I got a decision here between two. I want to make sure I kind of leave the right one for the chat. I played 2 games, guys. You know them both, but I'm going to leave you with Minnesota Timberwolves team total over 122 and a half. Just don't see any way there's a bounce back out of Dallas with 3 centers out of this game. Rim protection is so. I guess PJ Washington becomes your de facto type, interior presence, which is matched by more than 2 Timberwolves here. So for me, they've been scoring a lot lately. I don't see any problem getting to 125 here. So it's going to be Minnesota team total over 122 and a half is the best bet.
Good stuff from Vino. And for myself, I'll go back to that Bulls game. I'm going to go with Bulls team total under 113. And we'll shout this out really quick. I mean, we all know what situation they're in, but double digit unrested road dogs off a double overtime game. They have only cleared this. I mean, it's 10-2 to under, but the highest scoring team was 106 out of all these games in the database. 106. They're just going to run out of gas. This is a Denver team who's top 5 defensive rated team last 5 games, allowing close to 108. I mean, Chicago after that double overtime, traveling, going into elevation, it's not a good spot. They're going to run out of gas in this game, or at least that's what my money says. So Bulls team total under 113 will be my best bet for the show. Veno, good to be back rocking with you on the show. I'm about 85, 90% now, so I'm feeling a hell of a lot better, in a better mood. Hopefully it can translate to, winning some of these tickets. So appreciate you taking the time to break the games down with us. Everybody in the chat, we appreciate you as well. Good people, good cappers. And like I always say, we're all just trying to help each other win. So we'll be back again tomorrow. Until then, best of luck, everybody, on all your actions.